conversation with J. John, the evangelist, he recommended and encouraged us to expand upon an evangelistic initiative that we've been using quite a lot down in South Wales. To this end, I think it's now given us an opportunity to actually move out and open this out to all of the UK. It's basically broken down into three key areas. It's evangelistic training, testimony evenings, and gospel preaching. And using the fall from the top testimony, we have seen bodies being healed, people being saved, and obviously coming from that, people coming into churches. It's a really great method. We've seen things happen and churches are starting to grow. It's great.
Church, quite unexpected, and Murray was doing his testimony, and he gave me a book, A Fall from the Top, which I read. And during the course of the evening, whilst he was talking about his life, I felt as though I was the only person in the room, and Murray was talking to me. And by the end of the evening, I came down the front and I gave my heart to the Lord. I took the book home, and Chris read the book, and he found that quite interesting, which also led Chris to the Bridge Church one evening. Out of the blue, he asked if he could come with me. And Chris, being a total atheist at the time, came, and as a consequence, a few weeks later, Chris gave his heart to the Lord, and he was saved.
Rian brought home the book, and I found it fascinating, quite intriguing really, because there's a lot of parallels with myself. Not being a Christian at the time, I read it, wanted to find out more. Came to church, cutting a very long story short, really got into it, got saved, and here I am now.
Who's heard of What Would Jesus Do? We invented a thing before that came out called What Would Bob Do? My boss was called Bob. What would Bob do? Bob told me to walk down the stairs backwards in the morning, to tie my shoelaces the other way, and I did that for months. When I met him somewhere, I said, Bob, why am I walking down the stairs backwards? Why am I tying my shoelaces the other way? He said, to remind you that you're different. You're not like everyone else out there. All this kind of stuff worked. We had incantations that we'd say, you can if you think you can. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it will achieve. If you think you can't, you're right, you won't. And he had this one that had a massive effect on me. Think, act, believe, become. Think like a millionaire. Act like a millionaire. Believe you'll become a millionaire, and you'll become a millionaire. Think, act, believe, become. I used to walk to offices with my briefcase. Think, act, believe, become. Think, act, believe, become. And I deliberately used to put all these kinds of things into practice, and I became a millionaire. On paper at least, for a number of years. A Ford Sierra, drove past the road to my house, and I knew there was a pile of debt behind that door. And a wave of despair came over me. And I shouted at God and shook my fist at God, and this is what I said. And as I did it, it was as if the roof of the car disappeared, and I could see the stars. It might sound strange, but that's how it felt. And I said, God, if you prove to me you're real, I promise I'll follow you every day for the rest of my life.
I'm always really skeptical about big testimony ministries, because so often it can be about the bad side of things and glorify the past. But I have to say, A Fall from the Top was nothing like I expected. In a very genuine and a very honest way. We shared the life story of a man who has gone to being at the very top of his career, right back down to the bottom again, in a very real and open way. He shared his heart and his experience. In a very funny way, he shared how he saw Christianity before he was saved. And absolutely delighted to see the effects as he began to share the way in which God's Spirit worked on his heart and how people in the room began to respond as we moved from humour into the very serious truth of how Murray was saved. I have to say the evangelism course has been excellent. I've had really good positive feedback from all the members of the church. I'm really excited about the way in which evangelism has been presented to the congregation and how they have grasped often things that are thought of as difficult and seen it in a really easy way, and have begun to see for themselves how they can evangelize.
Having been saved for 50 years, I came to this course and realised that I needed more impetus to go out to the lost, to speak to those on the street, and I found it very difficult. I still find it difficult, but I believe that coming on this course has really helped me to pray and ask the Holy Spirit to use me in this way, which I've never done before, never even thought about it. But I believe God brought me to this course to teach me and to lead me into something greater, that I will be able to go out and speak to others.
I came to the course and I did think, oh, is it just another thing to do this and do that? But it's so enlightening that it made you have the confidence and the ability, knowing that we got the ability to go and share the gospel in a simple and down-to-earth manner, and it's really done something in my life tangible to go out and share with others.